It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Thursday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this, the 27th day of June 2024. Coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg. Reasonably warm day. It's kind of cloudy. We're supposed to get some rain. The high today is only going to be like 88. So it may not get to 90 today. So definitely a cold spell for a day, today and tomorrow. So, but anyway, I probably still will go out and get in the pool because it didn't get cold last night enough for the temperature to go out of the pool. So, yeah, I feel certain that I will make it out there today. So I have a question for Cindy, Hot Air Tom Cindy. On the way home from Pennsylvania, did the old poop let you have any of the donuts this time? The last time he wouldn't give you any, if you recall. I'm just asking if you got any of the donuts this trip. All right, it's not a great deal in the news portion today's show. Again, it's been a pretty slow week. The main headline today is MSC surpasses 4 million guests last year. Parking fees are on the increase at the Port of Baltimore. An elephant on a cruise ship? What? 7 themed areas on another cruise ship. Brilliant lady adds Puerto Vallarta to her itineraries. Riga back on the AIDA map and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Ice Cream Cake Day. I like ice cream. I like cake. You put the two together, I'm okay with that. Again, it's not to my favorites, but I certainly enjoy it, and enjoy it probably more than I should. But ice cream, National Ice Cream Cake Day. That's what today is. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net. And the way that works, folks, is usually within 10 to 15 minutes of the end of the show, the podcast is posted on all the podcast networks. So whether you want to access it via my blog or you want to access it from one of the big guys, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Pandora, Stitcher, any of those guys, all you have to do is search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and here I am. Anytime you're listening via podcast, if you want to jump over to the video feed for any reason, maybe an interview, clips or pictures that I'm using on that day's show, there's always a link in the description of the podcast. So you can do just that. All right, we got several things to catch up on before we get to the news today. First, again, just a reminder, tomorrow, author Ivan Cox, better known as Gerald Yukovic, Dr. Gerald Yukovic, is going to be on the show. Of course, he is the author of Cruise Ship Doctor and is going to co-host a cruise with me on the Epic in November, sailing out of Port Canaveral. My mind went blank. Sailing out of Port Canaveral, 7-day cruise. It's going to be a fun cruise. Even the nurse that's in the book is going to be on the cruise. So I'm sure you will be entertained a lot on this one. If you'd like to join us, just call me. Yeah, I'll be happy to hook you right up on that one. All right, so I know, again, yesterday I was supposed to do this and didn't. all the complaining that Eli on location did because it rained a little bit down there. Actually, it rained for like 2 weeks. So, but then it's just disgusting weather in Playa del Carmen again. And this might have been a picture from a few days ago, but that's what it looks like at Playa del Carmen. And this might have been one of the stormy days. I don't even know, but anyway, nice sunset. So that's down at Playa del Carmen. That's just right across the water from Cozumel. Cozumel's on an island. I think most everybody knows that. It's on an island itself. Playa del Carmen is actually on the mainland. So, all right. So let's see who we got here. This is, Guga and Rob. That's Guga and Guga's mom, and they're on a Disney cruise. It's her birthday, so happy birthday to Guga's mom. This is the Cruise Monkeys and Flom. I just love those guys. And this is Sylvia. She and the boys yesterday were at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. So, Sylvia does some singing herself quite often in bars and stuff. So she's got a hell of a voice, I'll tell you that. I've not seen her in person singing, but I have listened to numerous tapes of Sylvia singing. She's got a nice voice. So, all right, I'll be back with today's news after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. MSC surpasses 4 million guests. According to the company's 2023 sustainability report, MSC Cruises carried just shy of 4.1 million guests last year, operating a 22-ship fleet. MSC Cruises sailed 385 itineraries around the world, visiting a total of 102 countries and offering 2,150 shore excursion options. MSC Cruises' workforce grew in 2023 with 17,855 new hires and 5,600 crew members receiving promotions. The company now employs a total of 46,006 crew members from 137 different nationalities. The Cruise Maryland terminal at the Port of Baltimore has announced that parking rates at the terminal will increase effective August the 1st. The increase is significant, as much as 33% per night, depending on the type of vehicle being parked. Over the course of a week-long cruise, this can be a much larger expense for cruise travelers to consider. The parking rates for all vehicle types are increasing. Passenger vehicles and SUVs will rise from a current $15 per night to $20 per night, while RVs under 30 feet will rise from $30 to $40 per night. Join us on a totally unique transatlantic cruise on the Norwegian Epic. This cruise sails from New York on March 31st, arrives in Rome on April 15th, with stops in Bermuda, Punta Delgada, Lisbon, Barcelona, Cannes, Livorno, and Naples. What a fantastic cruise. Cabins start at $1,632 per person. All you have to do is call me, 434-258-9264, and we'll sail from New York to Rome on the Norwegian Epic. And, come join us. There'll be Hot Air Tom's going to be on that cruise. Kenneth and Robin are going to be on that cruise. Wow, I can't even think now who else is on it. But we got several other people. So we're going to have a nice little group. Join us. Man, it's going to be a great transatlantic cruise. Marella Cruises has unveiled its new entertainment lineup for Morella Discovery 2, featuring a life-size elephant puppet show in the show Jumbo and the Wonder Circus. The West End style production draws inspiration from Warhorse, Life of Pi, and My Neighbor Totoro, and is set to debut in late June of this year. The show, created by RWS Global, a global entertainment company specializing in producing live shows, features a puppet designed to replicate a full-size African elephant. Standing 7 feet high, 9.5 feet long, and 3 feet wide, the puppet story revolves around a vintage circus setting following the elephant's journey and his bond with Madame Rose, the circus owner. For the first time ever, Disney Cruise Line will have a ship permanently home-ported in Asia when the new Disney Adventure debuts in 2025. The new ship will sail from Marina Bay Cruise Center in Singapore, remaining at that home port for a minimum of 5 years in collaboration with Singapore Tourism Board. The ship, formerly planned as Global Dream for Genting, Hong Kong, but sold to Disney Cruise Line while under construction in November of 2022, will be themed in 7 areas. The Disney Imagination Garden will be a gathering place and open-air performance venue inspired by a century of Disney adventures and adventurous characters forming the heart of the vessel. Disney Discovery Reef will feature shopping and dining options for guests to explore, with inspiration from Disney's iconic aquatic favorites, The Little Mermaid, Lilo and Stitch, Finding Nemo, and Luca. San Francisco Street will be the ship's family entertainment region, with a vibrantly colorful street market, interactive games, movie theaters, and more to engage travelers of all ages. The overall theme will be Walt Disney's Animation Studios' 2014 animated hit, Big Hero 6, featuring Marvel Comics characters. For travelers eager for poolside relaxation, Wayfinder Bay will be an open-air oasis with a more sophisticated vibe inspired by Moana and featuring Pacific Islands theming. The area promises outstanding views and a connection to the surrounding water. Classic Disney favorites will come to life in Town Square, where ships, lounges, restaurants, cafes, and more will showcase summertime scenery and bits of some of the company's most beloved films through the decades. Guests will want to be on the lookout for touches of Tangled, Frozen, Cinderella, The Princess and the Frog, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and more. Finally, for guests interested in more high-energy adventures, Marvel Landing will celebrate the iconic superhero and supervillain characters with all new attractions, while Toy Store Place will be a whimsical and interactive play space with favorite Pixar personalities. Together, all of these themed areas will bring Disney to life like never before, with options for travelers of all ages, no matter what their Disney favorites may be. The Disney Adventure, coming soon. Virgin Voyages announced that its newest ship, Brilliant Lady, will include Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, in her West Coast U.S. itinerary, debuting from Los Angeles in the spring of 2026. Brilliant Lady features 17 decks, 20 onboard restaurants, and modern amenities. Passengers can relax in the state-of-the-art stateroom or opt for luxurious designer suites. The ship's adaptable design enables a variety of voyages, including expeditions through Alaska glaciers and fjords. The vessel will make its inaugural voyage in September of 2025 with a launch event in New York City, followed by a tour of North America. After stops in major ports such as Miami, the Brilliant Lady will transit the Panama Canal, entering the Pacific Ocean, marking Virgin's expansion into this region, followed by a visit to Seattle. AIDA Cruises is visiting Riga 9 times this season with 3 ships, marking the return to Latvia after a 5-year break. Another 9 calls are planned by the German cruise operator in 2025 also. AIDA Diva made the first call of 2024, visiting on May 27th, and the next to arrive will be AIDA Mar on July the 14th.
Are you ready to explore the stunning landscapes of Alaska? Don't let limited mobility hold you back from exploring all that Alaska has to offer. Book your mobility rental now and ensure you get the most out of your trip, whether you want to visit majestic glaciers, spot wildlife, immerse yourself into the rich culture of the last frontier, or simply enjoy all that your ship has to offer. Having the right mobility equipment can make a difference. Don't wait until it's too late. Secure your rental today and get ready for an unforgettable adventure. Call 1-888-441-7575 or email info@scootaround.com and use code CHILLIE, CHILLIE, for the best rates available.
And that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. Let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room. I do have a couple things to point out at the start here. I was sort of following along. Hot Air Time, you ask about the donut that I put. I call it the donut. For the ads that you never hear, those are for the podcast network. I have nothing to do with those. And you have to listen via the podcast to hear whatever the ads are. So, yeah, that's beyond my control. So I just point that out. And Elizabeth pointed out that I screwed her pictures up. I had the right, my heart's in the right place. What can I say? Kenneth says it's a little cool up there in Pennsylvania. Mike's with us from the other side of the pond. Steve's with us from Kentucky. There's hot air. I need new glasses today. Is the image me or blurry for you guys? Which image? We didn't buy any. You didn't buy any donuts. You didn't stop at the Pennsylvania Dutch place for donuts? I'm crushed. We bought Yoder's Market molasses, cookies and peanut butter cookies, and some farmer cheese, Longhorn cheese. Nothing was eaten on the way home. Well, that's because you didn't stop and get the donuts. Elizabeth says, Buena dias from our third sunny day here in Puerto. No, not Puerto Delgado. Wow. You can tell I'm tired. And yes, Hot, he is blurry on the screen. Me? Boy, I'm not on my screen. I am on my second. That's very interesting, guys. That would tell me that I don't have the normal strength of signal. Well, I'll work on that after it's over with. My apologies for that one, guys. I see it now on my other computer. Joanne says your voice isn't matching your face. Well, then I've definitely got a Wi-Fi issue today. Sorry about that, guys. Plus some Pennsylvania Dutch birch beer. Yeah, that's your drinks. You and those root beer floats. I actually found Diet A&W root beer. Wow. And plastic bottles, 16.9 ounce. Only 2 liters, sometimes can available here. Elizabeth says, I was just about to say the same thing, Joanne. Well, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's causing that. I'm assuming it's the Wi-Fi, which is something beyond my control. Chillie must be having some slow Wi-Fi internet issues, I guess. Hot. It's a good thing we can entertain ourselves. Yes, I hear you. There's Gary, older than dirt. Good morning, everybody. Blurred also lips out of sync with sound. Sorry, guys. Bob's with us. Good morning, Bob. There says fresh mud. I'm not following that one, which is not unusual. Emily's with us. Hello, Chillie and the gang. Chillie got my photos all wrong. One of those photos was from Cozumel. I know which one that was. And the last one was the sunrise, not the sunset. Okay. Red sky in the morning. And I know I wasn't thinking of the saying. I just wanted to get your pictures up since I screwed up yesterday and didn't have them up. I wonder what those sponsors are. We never get on. Yeah, well, you got to listen to the podcast to get the sponsors on that part of the show. Chillie's ad should play at that time. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. I'm putting those ads on my show. So I can't play stuff on the podcast. The podcast network, there's, I don't know, several hundred people on the network besides me. Emily says, red skies in the morning, sailors be warned, or whatever that saying is. Baltimore parking is still half the New York port parking. Yikes, almost pays us to park in Richmond and fly. Well, there's Cruising with Calandra. Nice to have you. Love the Epic, even though we broke down on her back in 2019. I like the Epic too. I'm doing the Epic in November for the cruise ship Doctor Cruise, and then I'm doing the Transatlantic in March on the Epic, and I was on the Epic in February. So, yeah, I like the Epic a lot. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. And by the way, it's always good to have other content creators here. Glad you stopped in. Come back and join us anytime. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Hot Air Tom got Gary. What did you get? I'm not following that one. The picture clear. When I saw Chillie, he was blurry too. Well, and I can see that I'm still off sync. Joanne says, hit that like button. Yes, thank you, Joanne. Hey, does anyone have a favorite hotel in Barcelona near the cruise pier? It's not near the cruise pier. I stayed in the, in the plaza, which is like downtown, which was an old stately hotel, but it was really nice. That was where Ed Asner. I walked into breakfast one morning and the place was packed. I was by myself, walked into breakfast and there wasn't a seat in the place, table open in the place. And this gentleman says, excuse me, sir, would you like to join me for breakfast? I've got nobody sitting here. I said, well, sure, thank you. And said Asner. He was on vacation. He had been in Russia filming something and stays at the plaza in Barcelona, which was his favorite city in the world. And it's been my favorite city in the world since the first time I went there. And I've been to Barcelona 5 or 6 times now. I've never stayed out near the cruise port. So that's going to be an add-on to my knowledge. hat took me a minute, but I finally got oh, okay. Cindy's with us. Good morning, Cindy. Better late than never. Good morning, Katie. Katie's with us. I'm doing a quick vacuum, waiting for my next visitor. Wow, that's the way vacations go, Katie. Chillie is blurry and his words are not going with his mouth. Yes, I know. Roger's with us from Jacksonville. Hey, Roger. There's Gretchen up in Ohio. Chillie, you're blurry. I know. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure totally why, but I'll work on it after I get off the air. I didn't want to work on it while I was on the air and lose you guys. Words are not matching with the video. Yep, I know. It's always something. Yes. Always something. Have a good time, Kate. Yes. I grew up with all that Pennsylvania Dutch stuff. In eastern Pennsylvania, don't miss it at all. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Enjoy your weather, Katie. Walking into your pool? Of course I'm going to the pool. Well, I've actually got a meeting with Norwegian coming up at, I want to say at 12 o'clock my time. And then I'll be going to the pool. Gretchen says, we've got the Amish here too. Last night, video of horse and buggy chase made the news. Horse decided not to wait for his passenger before heading home. Oh my goodness. Anyone ever stay at Hotel Indigo in Rome? I'm so looking forward to it in October. Hot Air says Chillie's now a ventriloquist. No, don't tell me that. All right. Again, folks, my apologies for the blurriness and the lack of sync. I'll try to get it fixed for tomorrow. All right, that's going to wrap me up for today, everybody. Thanks for being here. Smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'll try to get everything fixed for tomorrow. Honest, I will. For now, thanks for being here. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.